Yo, what up? It is the 27th of December. It is currently 9:34 p.m. on a Friday. And we have mail from Tom Nook. I ordered a lovely vanity for Pompom, now I remember. Alright. So today is, what is this? The 362nd day of the year? This means we have today, tomorrow, the day after that, the day after that, and the day after that. Wait, what? So we have today, which is the 2nd. So 1 today, 2 tomorrow. I should just look on my calendar. 1 today, 2 tomorrow, 3 Sunday, 4 Monday, 5 Tuesday. Yes, we're in the final 5 days of the year. This is number 5 counting down. Yeah, which means we're coming around to the end here. Oh, Pompom, I need you. What am I doing up the slate? I'm talking to you, Pompom. I'm talking to you. Ever since I saw the lovely furniture at Tom Nook's store, I can't stop thinking about it. Now I totally need some lovely furniture. Maybe somebody would buy me one? Oh, I got you covered, Palmy. Can I call you Palmy? Here you go. Yeah, we're in the final 5 days. Insane. That's my precious lovely vanity. I'm kind of surprised. You're always so chill, I figured that you forgot. Anyway, I want to thank you for your help. Who is that? You see that little white head there? Who is that? Yeah, no problem. Oh, that's a snowball being pushed by a pillbug. Huh. Pompom's looking down at it. Yeah, but we're, how many times am I going to say this? Coming up to the end now. Final 5 days. It's really we're really in the home stretch, and I'm honestly at a loss for what to do to make these final 5 days meaningful. So, day number 366 is obviously the finale, so that's pretty much, that's a pretty apparent on exactly what, I'm going to be, what the goings-on that episode will be. Like, it'll be finale shenanigans. I must have missed this area yesterday because it looks a bit... Oh, no. No, that sucks. Yeah, so that's set. I think on... Let's see. The second day before the finale, maybe I'll be talking my final words on this, how I feel about this game, just in total. And then, man, I don't know, so there's that leaves 3 more days, including this one, to sort of figure out what I want to do as my little send-off here. I don't know what I want to do today. I might try and finalize as much as I can the presentation of the town today, just to make it look ideal, which would include filling in these gaps here. Like using this white rose. Nice. And I've got an extra white pansy for wherever there was a pansy gap. Where was that? Oh, there wasn't one. Never mind. Yeah, but I'll work on making this place look as nice as it can before the finale. I'll be doing that on every day, but maybe today I'll sort of finalize some stuff. Like, I might rearrange the orange area to make it a bit more presentable. It's already presentable, but, make it a bit better. The last event of the year is the countdown on the 31st. Next year, I'll make sure all my dreams come true. Dream number 1, the Nibbles fan club with 100 screaming fans. It's a good dream. Maybe a bit unrealistic, but... I got 100 fans over the course of this, I guess, so it's not that hard. Only requires playing Animal Crossing every single day and recording it and uploading it. Other than that, though, it's pretty easy. Hello, Peewee. So, do you hit up Tom Nook's store every day? Yep. Oh yeah, me too, but it's not like I want to be Nook or something. It's just that the selection there changes every single day. True. It's a nice place. It is, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Considering that, in real life, the notion of a store's inventory changing every day was a bit ridiculous. Especially because that would involve quite a lot of work to coordinate. We'd be constantly having stuff coming in at that point. And yet you don't see a single van. I mean, I guess Pete delivers stuff, but can he really carry all the stuff that they would get every day? Hey, Marina. I don't know how you spend your days, Disco S. Maybe you run around catching bugs or cleaning your nail clipper. Or maybe you just sit on your keister all day. But don't you think it'd be a better use of your day to go out for a nice walk? I totally agree. See, I'm glad you know how to stop and enjoy life. Most folks are in too much of a rush these days, don't you think? Huh. You know, Marina, that is not a bad idea. Maybe we can take today, to just sort of, you know, really take everything in. Like the rainbow garden here, it's looking very nice. If you just sort of cut out wait, in fact, do it like, frame it like this. Looks like it's done. Of course, I still need that final blue rose, and to import that other one. Was that Marina dialogue, was that a subtle, go outside thing, like in real life? Like, take a break from the game thing? That's what it reads like. Honestly, the temperatures that we've been getting around here, I don't know if that's actually a good option. But also, it's just been kind of busy, so... What with Christmas stuff. Let's go get these fossils assessed. So yeah, maybe I'll take today to really appreciate all of the areas that have built up over this... But realistically, the past couple months, because even though, you know, I've been playing every day for the whole year, I haven't really been doing much to the town layout outside of these past few months. And maybe make any final altercations that I want... Altercations, that's like a fight. Alterations that I want to make. I guess I'll also talk about, well, just for fun. Today, I've been playing Mario 64, and when I say I've been playing, I mean I started a new playthrough, and I currently have 117 stars. I don't know how long I played for, but that's usually how I play this game, is, or that game, I guess. Is just do it all in one sitting. I think I've talked about Mario 64 before, but yeah, it's one of my favorite games ever made. And I could go on about it. I mean, there's sort of a, not a stigma around it, but there's an amount of, I guess, demystification that it's gotten over the past couple of years, because of how it's designed and how it's, I suppose, what you might call, primitive, especially with, you know, how it's a, you know, very early 3D platformer. And so, yeah, there's stuff about it that isn't perfect, like the camera, and sometimes the controls can be a little bit difficult to, you know, control. But, I still think on the whole it's aged pretty well. I think some people, over-exaggerate a little bit when they say the game's aged poorly. If you see a scorpion or a tarantula, above all, you must stay calm. They'll attack you if you swing your net around like a crazy person. But if you act like you can see them, they won't bug you at all. That's good advice, Mallary. But yeah, I mean, I think with Mario 64, you have to give it an amount of, like, maybe not benefit of the doubt, but you definitely have to, like, let it, like, you know, throw you around a little bit. You can't really go into that game expecting, for for it to control like a dream immediately, because it requires you to sort of, I guess, familiarize yourself with its controls in a way that a lot of other Mario games don't do. Because, you know, Mario kind of does have that design philosophy of you just play it and it works, and it's like, you know, it's easy to learn, hard to master kind of thing. Whereas I think Mario 64 is like relatively easy to learn. Like, I mean, sure, but generally, yeah, mastering it is the fun of that game. And so if you only want to play a game for one singular playthrough, then maybe you won't enjoy Mario 64 as much. I guess it depends. The other day I ran into Fork. I never knew someone could be such a big timer. Big timer, huh? Am I a big timer? I think I'm a big timer. Yeah, I'm big time. Big timer. But yeah, Mario 64 is a game where you definitely have to, like, be patient with it if you want to sort of, you know, enjoy it, I think. At least in my experience. I mean, yeah, like, it can have frustrating moments, I think, but I think on the whole it's a really fun game. And, I mean, I don't think the context of a game's release should impact how good it should be considered, but I think it is still worth, acknowledging that for the time that it came out, it is, like, surprisingly, you know, advanced and, like, ahead of its time in a lot of different ways. And, yeah, like I said, I don't think that it impacts the, ranking it gets. I think it's good for entirely, separate reasons than that, but I think it's definitely, its legacy is, you know, almost unmatched, in with other games that released at a similar time, I think. Alright, so we're in the pear area right now, which is the pear area, the area designated for pear trees, and I just sort of wanted to give a good look around here and see if there's any little things. But let's really appreciate this area. This was the first area that I really started to overhaul. These trees used to be random trees, so I started by replacing these all with pear trees all the way up here. And then I just started placing green, whitish flowers. There's not a direct green flower in this game, so I used dandelions and the lilies primarily because they are majority green. And then we have some white flowers which are a little bit distracting from the color palette, but I still think they blend in well enough. And the pears on the ground and the coconuts on the ground is a nice way to really fill in that space, and also the furniture leaves on the ground as well. All of those techniques are a really nice way to make this space look nice and green. And I'm really awaiting for when I'm playing next year and I end up in the spring or summer times, and that, you know, greenness will really be enhanced by the well, greenness of those seasons, I guess, if I had to phrase it anyway. There was a gap here, wasn't there? Oh yeah, I'm putting two white tulips next to each other. It's fine. But yeah, this area is really good in my opinion. I mean, it's got a bit, like, this maybe could be filled in. I'm still not 100% sure if this is how I want it to be, or if I want it to still have that sort of pattern extend up to this spot here as well. Because right now it's, as you can see, just hosting white tulips. But for that bit that I've done already, I'm really proud of my abilities there. I think it looks really nice. And so yeah, the pear area is definitely one of my favorites. I very consistently find myself, or I guess inconsistently, find myself, like, taking it in when I go by it and just appreciating, you know, the way that all of the flower types, can sort of work together in this area. Like, really, I just love this looking out, trying not to get the pear highlighted, looking out and having this, it looks so nice. It's a really nice area. And I think of all of them, this is definitely one of the best ones in the whole town, just to that little section. I think that's a great use of that specific area of the town, because it's a very weird area to work with because of the, just the way it's shaped and how, there's no houses, so it's harder to path around it. I think for what that area is worth, I really, pat myself on the back here, I really, did a good job with that. Oops, oh shoot, while I was over at Mallory's, I forgot to drop off this present. Why am I such a space cadet? Hey, but you're here now. Could you do me a favor and deliver this for me? I have some leeway, so if you can do it within 1 hour, it's all good. Yeah, I'll have plenty of time then. I don't know if I'll rank the areas, but the Peria obviously goes to the top of the ones I've discussed because it's the first one I've discussed. And yeah, we'll look at all of the areas today. And just sort of, I'll give my, probably not the final thing I'll say on them, I'll definitely talk about them in my town tour, but, a big extended talk on a lot of them. And then some maybe modifications to a couple of them as well. I don't think I'll buy random flowers today. Honestly, I think I'm at a point where I don't need the random flowers. So actually, I don't know why I came in here. Oh, I have fossils I have to sell. Okay, let's do that really quick. I know I just added an extra 2 erroneous loading screens by being so hasty. But that's my mistake. And, as I've very thoroughly discussed at this point, this town is not over at the end of this year. It's just the end of the series recording, the town. Yeah, I'm still going to be working on all of these places, and maybe someday in the future I'll make an update on how the town's going, maybe a couple months or even a year out from the end of this series. And just sort of talk about some stuff. We'll see what happens. I just sort of, whatever I do in the future with this series, it'll be very flexible. Like, it won't be, as routine as this was. Just per my preferences. So I guess now we'll talk briefly about the cedar tree area. I say briefly because there's not much to it. The Peria has a lot of great, flower coordination with the coloring, but I didn't really put that into the cedar tree area. I also still need to replace this weed with a cedar tree, which I actually might do today because I said that's something I wanted to do, is to sort of finalize these areas. But I think the cedar trees look very nice when they're all together like this. I think it makes it feel foresty and... Oh, sorry, Peewee, I didn't mean to do that to you, buddy. But yes, the cedar tree is nice. I like it as an additional spot. I think giving a spot to highlight the cedar trees is nice. Just because usually in most towns they're just sort of an additional element. They're always there for most towns, but most people don't tend to, like, emphasize them. Oh, Peewee still wants to talk to me. Okay, what do you want? Don't you want my exquisite rug? You could always pay Nook's regular price of 1610 bells for it. What do you say? No, no, no! But you're just saying that to drive the price down. But weak bargaining like that won't do a squat to a pro haggler like me. Alright, whatever you say. But yeah, I think the cedar tree, purely, the area, purely on the novelty, I like. I like just the pure idea of this being an area for these trees, because otherwise it's, I feel like a tree that gets a little bit underlooked in comparison to, like, fruit trees, obviously. Not that I'm too in tune with what people's thoughts are on stuff like that, but that's just my general understanding. And I think inadvertently, or I suppose a little bit unintentionally, the fact that I've also placed a lot of the random flowers that I've been buying in these areas. Sort of contributes to the foresty feeling that cedar trees definitely remind me of. It feels very wild out here, which I think is fun. I think it's a fun way to sort of spice up the environments and not make it too controlled, I guess is the word. So yeah, the cedar tree I think goes underneath the paria, but for the reasons that I've listed, I think it's still a pretty good area of the town, and I really like that I ended up doing that. It took a little bit, because getting cedar saplings takes a while, but it ends up, I think it looks pretty nice. And it's going to look really good when the, I think it'll be on the 31st maybe, when there's Christmas lights on all those trees. Didn't you tell me once that you can deliver things as fast as a pro courier? Huh? You didn't say that. Oh, don't be so modest. That's not you. Come on, let's see your chops. Why don't you deliver this to Peewee right now? Okay, well, Peewee, last time I saw him, was, like, right outside your house, so hopefully that hasn't changed much. But it's also an hour away, so I've got plenty of time. If I run into him, I'll give it to him. Which I should do. I should run into him. Yeah, but those are my thoughts on the cedar tree area. Like I said, not a crazy amount to talk about, just because it's not a very involved area. Oh, wait a sec. Peewee, me talking to you in this exact location has just revealed a pink cosmos behind the cedar tree there, if you can see that. I'm going to take that. Let's see this letter from Peewee. So I can show it to you. I got your written challenge and I'm ready. You gotta build endurance and muscle, okay? I'm on fire, Genji. Good letter. That really warms my cold, crabby heart. Send Genji my best. Yeah, I will. There is a pink cosmos behind this tree. Lucky that I talked to Peewee there. That's very lucky. This area, this acre, might be good for hybrids in this town, because I seem to get quite a few of them here. Well, I'm gonna go add this to Marina's garden. And I guess while we're down there, we can talk about her area, which is, well, it's not her area specifically, but the area that a house is contained in, which is the peach area. Now, this one is probably the least, I'd say it's the lowest, just off the bat, I think I'll say that, of the areas. Not for any particular reason, I just think, you know, it's not very themed. Even the cedar tree area, I sort of gave that idea of wildness. But the peach area, admittedly, basically only exists to have an area with peach trees in it. I like peach trees. I think they're nice. They have a nice aesthetic, but unlike the other areas, it's a bit difficult to color match them with the flower type, and it's a broader area, which means a lot of this is very spread out, and so one flower garden for the entire area would be very time-consuming and maybe a little bit too overwhelming. And so, yeah, I think it's the lowest of the of them, but I think I still like the area. I just think, I mean, purely for containing the rainbow garden, I have to give it an amount of props, but the rainbow garden to me is a separate thing. Like, it's basically it's happenstance. The rainbow garden just happens to be in the peach area. It's not like there's anything special about the peach area that, like, you know, validates the rainbow garden being contained within it. If anything, it would make more sense for the rainbow garden to be in a forest of random trees. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the peach area. I would say it's the lowest ranking of all of the areas, just personally. Now here is the orange area. This place is great. I love the way... Okay, let's talk to Marina real quick. Guten Tag, got a sec? I hate to ask, but what kind of girl would you say I am? Totally normal. I'm impressed. There really was no right answer, but you answered well. You really are sweet, Disco S, and I appreciate it. It makes me really happy. I'm glad I've got friends I can count on. Here, it's nothing special, but I want you to have it. Thanks. Thought you'd like having a cabana table. Thank you. But yes, the orange area. I really like how good yellow tulips look as a substitute for orange flowers, because even though these are yellow, they're not orange, they look very similar to the oranges on the orange trees, which means it's great color coordination for this area, and I think it looks really nice. I think just in general, the gradients of the yellow to sort of orangey colors around here is really nice coordination. I think it looks really nice. And so I think it's below the Peria, just because the Peria is a little bit more complete, and so it gains that amount of, you know, I give it that as its, you know, well, it's, you know, it's complete. I think that's fair enough to say. Oh, it's snowing. You can see the snow coming down. Well, good, I don't have to worry about if any of these flowers have actually been watered or not. But yeah, the orange area is really nice. I'll give it the award, though, for the one I'm most excited about its future. Just because it's really, you know, it's a really great, I guess, concept. Maybe not the concept's the right word, but I just think the way it's looking at the moment, it's gonna end up looking really good when I finally decide that I'm like fully done with it, basically. So right now I'm just moving things around in such a way that we have this side path that everything you can see is preferably filled in. I don't care as much if the middle area, like the deeper parts of the area, aren't filled in, but as long as the, like, sideline areas are filled in like this, I'll be happy to... Excuse me, I'll be happy to say that this is finished, for now. Oh man, I'm getting a bit burpy, sorry. Alright, okay, there's a bit missing here. I don't think... Does that yellow pansy ever become visible? No, okay. So basically, I'm moving all these flowers so that if I couldn't see them before, I can see them now, is the basic idea here. And so yeah, eventually I think all of this would be filled in, really, but for right now I really want to have that strong first impression if you're taking it like from the town gate going downward, basically. That sort of perspective. I want it to be like right there in your face, you know? Alright, so it looks pretty much done from this angle, and then now let's just see, does it look finished? You can kind of see some gaps here. This yellow tulip has to go here, and one more I think we can take from here, it'll be okay. The only thing I would also like more with this area is if it was a bit more dense with the trees, and that the trees themselves were a little bit more sporadically placed and didn't so much look like they were in like a grid pattern, which is a consequence of the way I used to plant trees in these games, as I would plant them all in like a grid pattern, which I don't think looks very good now. So I wish I hadn't have done that, and that, but you know, I kind of like the way it looks just going along like this, like the way they sideline the path. But the inner foresty area of it, I wish was a little bit more, I guess, random, if I had to put a word on it. But yeah, I guess I'll plant just I'll change a couple more flower positions, and then I think I can say that I'm generally done with this area. I also, of course, the use of oranges on the ground, to add, to, like, you know, maintain that color palette is... It's something I've done for all of the areas to some degree, I think. Maybe not the peach area, but, yeah, I think it's generally just a good idea. If you want to do something similar, I would be a very high on the recommendation list as to incorporate something like that. Just because it's a very... it doesn't cost you anything, because obviously the fruits themselves are not expensive, but also it doesn't cost you anything in the sense that it doesn't impact your town perfection score, which is good. Alright, so now let's see, if I walk along the sideline, that looks pretty done to me. I mean, yeah, if you're looking pretty closely like I've been looking at it, then it's kind of hard to tell. But if you're just passing by, that'll look pretty good, I think. I guess I'll just put this up here. Alright. I think I might do 2 parts of this, you know, talking about the areas thing. So for today, that'll be the orange cedar, orange area, the cedar area, the peach area, and the pear area. All 4 of those talked about. And then tomorrow I'll talk about the cherry and apple area, just to save a bit of time for today, and also give me something to do tomorrow, because I can't think of anything to do tomorrow. Here you go, Mallary. Here is a gift. Maybe tomorrow I could talk about all of the villagers who lived here throughout the year. Oh, could this be from Pippy? That was quick. I wonder what I got. Hey, I've always wanted a rose shirt. The word considerate just popped into my head. How strange. Thank you, S-Rock. Tell Pippy I send my best. Don't forget, okay? Sure thing. But yeah, I think I'll still save the apple and cherry trees for tomorrow. I'll make them a bit more brief, just because I kind of want to not make today too long. Hey, Pippy, I did the thing you wanted me to do. We've tried to go see this letter. It's hilarious. Have a look. You'll thank me. That horrible raccoon has forced me into a life of indentured servitude. Watch out for yourself. From Anonymous. I mean, that just reads like a scene from a romantic novel, right? No, not at all, Pippy. I think you're horribly misreading that, actually. I mean, I guess it's up to interpretation. I delivered it. Good job. How was Mallary's reaction? Yeah, she liked it. Great. Kinda just picked this one randomly, so I wasn't, 100% sure. Well, anyway, I want to thank you for your help. Here you go. 510 bells. Oh, bells. Speaking of, I need to go do the money tree today, don't I? Or maybe I did it already. No, I did not. Aha, thank you for that, Pippy, otherwise I would have forgotten. Alright, you know what? What the hell? Let's talk about the other areas. I don't think I won't finalize the areas, I'll talk about them. We'll start with the cherry area, which is definitely the most, slapdash, I guess, of them all. It's very, thrown together. In the sense that, unlike the other areas, it's not sort of a built-from-the-ground-up thing. It just sort of happens that I planted a lot of cherry trees around here, and so now most of these trees are cherry trees, which I did before I ever started this idea of segmenting the town into all of these different fruit tree-based areas. So yeah, this area is just sort of the way it is by happenstance, or how I was playing before, I guess. It's a bit of a weird area. I guess it starts around here, yeah, from this path upward, and it just sort of comprises the whole town hall area. My idea with this area was to do red flowers, but more sparingly, to sort of not make it too foresty looking, but to make it look a little bit more, I guess, maybe not civilized, but a bit more, controlled, which I think works well with the town hall being here, of course. It's a bit of a nice thematic tie-in if you had to analyze it. And then, of course, this area is a bit messy, because it's just filled with all the red roses that have been crossbreeding over the past couple of months. Hey, Pompom. Hey there. I'm trying to get rid of my old lame junk. Do you want to help me recycle some of it? Sure. You want to help? What? Okay, why did you even bother? But yeah, so admittedly this area is not crazy. I think I still like it more than the peach area, just because I think cherries just look better on the trees. I like the red flowers being occasionally strewn about. And I think it's a nice looking area. It's a little bit inconsistent. Obviously there's yellow cosmos here, and Mallary's house, and Hugh's house down here is white flowers and stuff, but, So yeah, that's my ranking so far, and then finally we'll talk about the apple area, which is quite broad. It comes up to here, and ends over here, but in practical terms, or at least in, like, how I would view it, it's mostly this area here with the red flowers everywhere. And this section is admittedly not very developed. It's a little bit sparse, especially when you come closer to the shoreline. What of this section, I think this looks really nice. This section's got potential, but I'd like to extend pretty much all the way down to here, perhaps. I think apples look really nice on trees in this game. I usually don't get it as my town fruit, so I might be a bit biased towards them in that regard. But I think this section has good potential, but it's not very complete, and I don't think it's in a state where I can get it complete, so I think I'm just going to leave it. I guess we'll see. Maybe in the coming days I'll change it up just before the end of the series, but yeah, that's, I think, really... I mean, you know, it's obviously the area that my house is basically built around. So obviously I gotta give it some credit for that. I like the gold roses, which is more so just a part of my house, if anything, but it's still nice. And the black roses are good, too. But yeah, it's not a crazy section, not crazy developed, not crazy looked into in terms of what I want to do with it. But of this little part down here, I really like the way all the red flowers look together and the apples on the ground and stuff like that. So I think my final ranking for the areas would be top is Peria, next would be the orange area, then, I think I might even say the cedar tree area, and then the apple area, and then, oh no, sorry. Yes, the apple area, the cherry area, and then in last, the peach area. That's my ranking. I think I like all of them. At worst, I'd say it's the peach area, just is kind of whatever, there's not really much to it, and then I probably need to do some more with that. But other than that, I think all of them are solidly, at least a little bit developed, and I really like the way they all look. And I'd say I'm pretty proud to present them as my work, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, that's going to be my little, I guess, walk in the park. So tomorrow, I think we'll do a little history on the villages of this town as my second of the countdown, the 5 days till the end of this series. So yeah, that's going to be about it for today. And, well, yeah.